It's round 6 of the penultimate round of the Wednesday Cup Season 9. We find our drivers tonight tackling the 4.3 kilometre Red Bull Ring. This track originally opened in 1969 and also called the A1 Ring before being renamed in 2011 to the Red Bull Ring. This circuit looks simple on paper, but it is anything but, with 10 very challenging corners, 3 to the left and 7 to the right. I am Peter Clark, and joining me here in the commentary box is Dino. And how are we going, and how was your last round of your championship in the Big Bang Series?
G'day Pete, g'day everyone out there in YouTube land, mate. Had a great night Sunday night. Thank you very much for asking. That was a good run, a well-won championship by Lockie. That man was on fire, hard to catch. I look forward to having another crack. But mate, tonight's going to be a great one. Who doesn't love the Red Bull Ring? We all know this track through and through. I'm sure the drivers know this track through and through. Things are going to heat up, Pete. You're holding onto my hat here.
Oh, they certainly do. This track, as I said, it looks extremely simple on paper, but it is anything but. You've got turn 1. It's a very heavy uphill braking zone, and don't get fooled by the look of it as well. It is much tighter once you get to the apex, and a lot of drivers can vouch for that as they run wide quite often on the exit, and with the sausage curbs there, it is not a comfortable ride. And then you've got the long drive all the way up into turn 3. You do go through the kink of turn 2, but in really any car, it is anything but a corner, and it's a extreme braking zone, and that's probably where we're going to see the most action, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. That's where the overtaking move is. As you said, mate, turn 2 is not my favourite place to try and put a move on. That one disappears. When you get down to turn 3 there's a great chance for a move. There's not many places you can really put a clean move on this track, but that's definitely one of them. I kind of like the back section of the track myself, mate, just before the start-finish line.
Yeah, that section's really, really fun to drive in, really, no matter what you've got, whether it's high speed or a car with not as much downforce as you would expect, maybe something like a Formula One car here. We'll see next to nearly a minute flats, they'll be doing a little bit slower than a minute flat around here in these TVR Tuscan Speed 6s. We've only got 390 horsepower and they weigh about 1,100 kilos, so they're going to be lively. They're going to be a bit to handle, and we're getting ready for qualifying here.
These guys are lining up. It looks to me like Fabian's in the front there. He's the man who's going to push hard here. He's got everything to lose. I heard it was between Fabian and McFadden, but I can't see McFadden on the grid at the moment. Not sure where those Rangy boys are. I think we're missing an Andre Elliott as well. Cookie, he's a no-show too. Well, we could just be giving Fabian a bit of a lead here.
That is absolutely right, and these are platters that is being handed to him. He is currently leading the championship by 19 points, and those 19 points came because he didn't last round. Sorry, he was in second position in the championship. We've now gone green for qualifying. It's going to be an 8-minute long qualifying session. That's going to be a few laps, but back to the championship hunt here as they do their out laps. Fabian Fitness leads by 19 points. That was not the case last round. That championship was being led by Jake Buttigieg, who was a no-show for that round, and he has plummeted down to 4th position. He's now 68 points adrift in the series, so he is going to need to put in some stellar performances if he wants to close that gap back up, but he has to chase down the man that is currently on form, and that is Fabian Fitness, just out of Jason McFadden, and Remo Grand currently sits in 3rd. He's 66 points adrift. The top 6 in the championship are separated by less than 100 points. It's getting really close as we head into the final 2 rounds.
Geez, there's some tough names up there, mate. Those 4 names that you just said, those guys will not give an inch. But I'd still like to see Colton Atkins. When that man is on, when he has his day, he has his day. I'm sure he'll be pushing to try and get up the championship ladder as well. But I think Jake Buttigieg, he'll be a good one to watch tonight. He will want to get back into that position. He's dropped around, but he'll fight back. He'll be coming back through the field here.
Yeah, and in practice, he was looking like he's got some pretty good pace there. Colton, as you were saying, he's down in his 7th position. He's 102 points adrift, so just outside that 100-point mark that I had mentioned previously. They're seeing Fabian using all the track plus more available to him here in the Red Bull Ring, using a bit of grass there to get his lap started, but that is going to give him the best run heading down into turn 1, so expect plenty of purples on this first lap here for Fabian Fitness. He's going to navigate turn 1 first. He's going to use that inside curve there. That's going to help the car turn just a little bit, but he gets on the throttle a tad too early, and that causes the back of the car to break into wheel spin. Now he's got that really long drive up to turn 2, which is this little kink here to the left, and now it's going to be how late on the brakes you want to go for turn 3, and you can see there a purple first sector, and it looks like he's just overshot.
Oh, he's overshot.
He's overshot turn 3, so this lap is going to be more of a banker than anything, because that is going to be a good, decent couple of tenths he's going to have to find in the next one.
Definitely. I'd be using this lap exactly what he's doing right now. A bit of weaving. Let's just get the tyres warm. Let's forget about this lap. Just put one down, as you said, a banker lap. Let's go out for another one and try and put down a time. That corner that we just went through there, I think that's where a lot of passes you'll see made tonight. This section through here, this left-hander, I've seen people go too wide through here. It never ends well. It needs to be single file through here, then single file through this next left-hander. And if you can get a good run out of here, this is where you can jump side. This is where you can get beside someone and push onto this corner down the end here. And moves can be made down here. This will be another place to watch tonight.
Moves can definitely be made going into here, and it does get a little bit awkward because you can see they're going over the white lines. That's the pit lane entry on the apex to the penultimate corner. So if anyone does have to come into the lane in front of the leaders, this could get a little bit dicey. This first lap, though, for Fabian Fitness, that will probably be putting him up to the top, and there it is. It's a 1:35.5. He's definitely going to have quite a fair bit of time to find, and there it is, 1.5 seconds clear is Jake Buttigieg. So he has gone absolute foot to the floor on his first flying lap, and he's currently got provisional pole by 0.3 of a second.
That's a great lap there. As I was saying, Jake will be on here. He will want to fight for this championship, and there's only one way to do it, and that's to win races once you've dropped around. But a 1:34 flat, that is an extremely impressive time. And then you've got Upiter just behind him. He's 0.3 off. That's a 1:34.3. He's not far off. Then Colton, 1:34.6. Wallace, 1:34.7. Lawson, 1:34.8. I mean, how close do you want these times? Fitness is really going to have to get on with it here. He can't hold back, can't muck around. He's got to get it done, and done now.
He's got to get it done very quickly because we're now already down within 4 minutes left of the session. That's already half the session gone, and they've done an out lap and one fly lap. So I expect them to get maybe 2 more laps in if they're lucky with the timing of their laps here. We're keeping an eye on Jason McFadden here, though, because he's still yet to set a lap, and he's currently sitting second in the championship. So he's leaving his run very late. He's really counting on the fact that he may have some pace here, and he was up there in the practice session. But again, it's a risky strategy to leave it this late into a qualifying session, because if you start making mistakes, applying that pressure to yourself here in this qualifying session, you're going to be starting towards the back of the grid, and that's when he's going to have to start thinking about a strategy. Maybe use race 1. If you can't get a good lap in, use race 1 to get himself towards that top 10. If you can get inside the top 10, it's a reverse grid for race 2 with the top 10, so he can try and get himself back to the front. We've seen him use race 1 to get himself into those positions, and then start from the front and go on to claim a win, which he had done in race 2 last round at Bagny-Cour.
Yeah, definitely, mate. But Jace here, he'll be lining up for a lap right now. He one of these guys who can just get his head together and just lay it all on the line and somehow get away with it. So he's onto it now. I think we'll see a lap time from Jason now. He may not need a long practice session if he just gets his head in the game. I just see Ezra there's jumped up. Liam's up to 7th position with a 1:35.1. Now the timing tail's starting to settle light. We're seeing positions going left, right and centre here. It is on for young and old.
Yeah, and most notably, we saw the mistake from Fabian Fitness on the first flying lap. He's now put in a 34.6, so that's popped him up into 4th position for our current championship leader, but he is still 0.6 away off the pace. And David Smart has also put in a pretty smart lap time to get himself up to 5th. That's a 34.7 for himself. He's half a tenth clear of Wallace, who's in 6th position. It's a little bit of a lock up there going into turn 3 for the Pootmobile, and he is going to be on for a lap here to try and improve his position.
Definitely, mate. He's got that Bootmobile sliding, I tell you. That thing is coming out left, right and centre, and he's doing a great job of wheeling it at the moment. If he can just hold on, put down a smart lap, that's all he needs to do. I mean, he's already got himself in a 5th position. Let's see if he can jump up. Back with Ubita here. He set the timing tower. That's a 1:33.7. Oh, that is something. Oh, the timing tower is alight, Pete. What are we seeing?
We are seeing the drivers absolutely finding the limit here in qualifying. We've got a minute left, so these drivers will be on their final flying laps right now. So keep an eye on these drivers who will just set these fast lap times. I was wondering if we're going to get into the 33s because Jake Buttigieg put in that first lap of the 34 flat and hasn't been able to improve on it since. And I was still trying to find out if we were going to see a 33, and we've gone to a 33.6. So the top three now separated by 0.4 of a second, and Colton has gone purple in the first sector. So he is on here to try and improve on that 33.6. He made a small mistake there going down into turn 4, a little puff of smoke from a brake block up, and it made him go just a hair wide. And you can see the rear end of the car is really not happy. He's pushing this thing. He's got it by the neck.
He's definitely got it on the slide. That was evident through that last corner there. The back of the car was another Beyonce impersonation, but he was doing a great job. He held on to it and got it round that corner. He could be up here. I'm not seeing more purple or green sectors coming up, so I think sector 1 was a good one for him, but the micro sectors may just be letting him down. Be interesting to see if he can go faster than that 33.6. But I mean, guys getting into the 33. And Fabian, bam, 133.7. He's decided to join the party. But we're riding with Colton at the moment. And bang again, Jake Buttigieg, 133.6. These guys are on.
They are absolutely on it, and we said that we needed a good performance from Jake Buttigieg. He's got a lot of ground to make up in this championship after missing last round, and starting in second position and crucially ahead of Fabian Fitness is going to be a pivotal point in this championship. Kai Upita, though, he held well, he was up towards the front for so long. He's now in fourth, and that lap of the 33.7 is good enough for that fourth position. He's ahead of Lawson, but Fabian Fitness, he is still on a lap. His last lap, a 33.7, good enough for P3. If he can just find 900ths of a second, he can get himself on this pole position. It is the barest of margins he needs to get himself onto not only the front row, but a pole position to put himself in prime position to take yet another race win this season.
I'll tell you what, if any man can do it, he is on. He's just gone purple in the mid sector. He's green in the first sector. I mean, Colton set a cracking time of 133.6. This is absolutely on. Fabian will not give this away. He's got the micro sectors lit up. We've got green, green, and green. He's going for it. He's got the slide on. He's 7/10 up at the moment. 7/10 up. This is on. This could be a lap time like we have not seen. Let's stay with him for a second. What can he do? That will be... Stay with it. Bang!
Oh.
33.6 flat, Fabian. Hats off to you, mate. Well done on that one.
That is a mega lap. And now Kai Upita, he's put in a lap from absolutely nowhere. Where does he come from with a 33.5? He's pulled 400s clear of Fabian Fitness. And that is now every driver across the line and in the pit lane. So Kai Upita, well done, sir. You are on pole position for the first race at the Red Bull Ring. That was an absolutely cracking lap time. None of us saw it coming. And look at that gap. The top three, less than a 1/10 of a second.
That is unbelievable, those lap times. If that doesn't give you a little bit of a preview as to what the race tonight's going to be, you have to be kidding me. This is going to be tight.
Tight indeed it will be. We've got a track that is known for having fantastic racing. We're in a series that is known for fantastic racing, and we've got drivers that do not let up. We will be in shortly for a race. We have got one heck of a race on the line. The championship is on the line. It's the penultimate penultimate round of the season, and Dino, I need to get a prediction. We have had some mega pace this qualifying session, but I think it's going to be a little bit too difficult to try and pick a winner.
Mate, it's definitely hard to pick a winner. I've got 2 in mind at the moment. I've probably got 3 in mind at the moment. I don't want to say, mate, I'm not putting the curse on anyone tonight. How about yourself? Are you willing to risk it and put it on the line?
No, look, I don't want to risk it. We're getting ready for race 1. I'm not risking it. I have previously put a couple of curses on people. Don't want to be that guy in the series that's going to put the curse on people here. So
Love it.
I'm going to leave it up to them to work out who this winner is going to be, but I am sure we're going to be in for an absolute thriller.
Definitely. We will be straight back with you, ladies and gentlemen, with race 1. This is going to be hot stuff.
SDT Simulator Driver Training is a division of Safe Drive Training, one of Asia Pacific's leading driver training providers. We offer affordable driving simulators that are assembled in our Brisbane head office. SDT simulators are now in use across Australia and are expanding into international markets due to their affordable price, unique features, and customisation for driver training. SDT Simulator Driver Training is a division of Safe Drive Training, one of Asia Pacific's leading driver training providers. We offer affordable driving simulators that are assembled in our Brisbane head office. SDT simulators are now in use across Australia and are expanding into international markets due to their affordable price, unique features, and customisation for driver training. SDT Simulator Driver Training is a division of Safe Drive Training, one of Asia Pacific's leading driver training providers. We offer affordable driving simulators that are assembled in our Brisbane head office. SDT simulators are now in use across Australia and international markets due to their affordable price, unique features, and customisation.
Welcome back. I am hoping that you are ready because we have got a race on our hands. If you missed the qualifying session that we just had for this race here around the Red Bull Ring, the top 3 separated by less than a tenth of a second, and it was Kai Upita who got himself the pole position with a lap absolutely out of nowhere. He's in the 7-Eleven car, so watch out for that one off the pole position. It is going to be a thrilling race, and he is alongside the menace that is Fabian Fitness, the 3-time champion of the Wednesday Cup, and currently the championship leader and the driver on form. He is going to be one person that needs to be beat. We'll take a quick look at the grid. It is going to be Upita Fitness front row, then Adkins and Jake Buttigieg, after missing the last round, has fallen down the championship, needs a good race here, and has done a great job in qualifying to get him his Air Malta racing car onto that second row of the grid. And then it is Hack in position 5 and Wallace in position 6. And then we've got Remo Grand in position 7 and McFadden in position 8. He is currently sitting second in the championship. And then it is Olive and Holyoke to round out your top 10. And Dino, do you want to take us through the rest of the grid?
I can, mate. There's Smart in the Poo Mobile. And then we've got Turbulenche in 12th. We've got the Haircut. He's in 13th. He'll be fired up. We've got Simmons in 14th. We've got Paul Buttigieg Sr. in 15th. Then we've got Sam Bensley in 16th. We've got 17th. We've got the head of the cheese board. He'll be fired up tonight. And then in 18th position, who the hell is that? Zahat. No idea who that is. I don't know who this guy is thinking he can just turn up and mix it with the boys. This will be interesting. He'll be in for a big learning curve, Pete.
It is going to be a learning curve indeed, and starting from the rear, he may be able to learn a few things, maybe pick up a position or two, because this track is sure to be causing some action. The lights are illuminated and we're ready to put foot to the floor here in Austria, and we're away for race 1 of the Wednesday Cup here, and it looks like to be a really good start for Fabian Fitness. He's on the inside. Are they going to dare 3 wide into turn 1? It's going to be Colton Atkins in the middle. Is he going to be able to get it done? It's been a horrific start for our pole sitter Kai Upita. He has fallen down to position 4, so it has been scenario terrible for himself in this first race. And look at the front, it is Fitness. He has to defend heavily, but can he defend enough? Because here comes Colton Atkins down the inside, and Jake Buttigieg around the outside. Is he going to be able to make it work? No, he's gone around from the lead. He's going to have to drop down to Pomlas, and he's reversed into another car. That is going to be looked at, and that is not the start he's going to be wanting. He got a little bit happy on the throttle and has now fallen down the field. Fabian Fitness will lead the way, now heading down into turn 4, and behind the battle is absolutely on, and it is going to be now Kai Upita versus Jason McFadden, and they're going to go side by side. Dino, you said they can't go side by side through here.
Mate, I said they can, but it's tricky. And Jace is going to hold it fat around the outside here. He's going to let this one go because he's got the championship on the line as well. He's in second position, so he's going to push. But he's got Upiter there. We've got Remo. There's action aplenty here. Clint Olive going up the outside of Remo. This is the one I was saying. Run side by side here. Get a good run, and let's go for it. These guys are absolutely battling, and Clint looks like he's got that job done. That's done. He's around Remo as we head onto the straight here. These guys, geez, it's an opening lap. It's been pretty clean. Have to feel for Adkins in this one. He had it all to play for and just jumped on the gas just a little bit early. Turbulence is around. Fabian looks like he's got a good lead though. He's going to try and stretch his legs. He's going to want to get out as far in front as he can and get away from all the dramas. But I tell you what, it's not going to be easy to run away from Jake, is it?
It is not going to be easy to run away from Jake at all. These are two form drivers that we've got in this series, and you can see that in front we've got a battle for third position on Wallace versus McFadden. McFadden down the inside. Is he going to be able to get the position done? He can. The rear end gets a little bit squirrely. He drives over the tarmac lines from the previous lap, and he has got this position up into third position, but he has to be careful because you can send the dive up to turn 3, but you've then got to defend from the slipstream because it's another straight to deal with. And so you can try and make that move into that spot. It's a very popular spot to make the move, but you've got to make sure you get the good exit to be able to defend into the next, and they're continuing to go side by side. It's the Namco car down the inside. Is he going to be able to hold on to it? McFadden around the outside. Can he? McFadden holds it around the outside. Beautiful move, and that's him now up into a podium. The gap though out in front, it's over a second between the top two.
Over a second already. Jake will still be pushing. These two guys, I think they're out to make a liar of me. Side by side again through that corner. McFadden involved. That man doesn't mind being beside another man. He's doing a great job of holding his stand there. He's had the outside both times and done. Upiter's in the dirt. Upiter is in the dirt. He's just let cars through. He has just let Remo through. He's let Hack through. He's just touched just into the sand there. And there we go. We've just got times popping up. Fabian, 1:34.5 for race pace. That is on it.
Yeah, and I've just seen that Zahook's coming into the pit lane, so he's now going to be tumbling down the order, and that will put him out of contention for any decent scoring here in this first race, as Hollyoak is now looking to get himself up into the 9th position. He is slipstreaming. That is Ezra in front of him. Can he send any sort of dive bomb? No, he thinks better of it, which is pretty smart because we've seen so far this race, you can send the dive here, but then you're vulnerable to the next corner. But it doesn't look like he's had the exit required. Behind him though, it's Pool Bunny and Turbolaunch. They're going at it, and this is a position just outside the top 10.
Oh, Buddy Geek here. There's no respecting your elders from Turbolaunch. He is absolutely throwing it up the inside. He's going to have the ideal line here, unless Paul here can just... No, he doesn't. He's got to drop in behind. I think there was a little touch, bit loose. This is all on, but what it's doing is smart in behind these guys. He's looking forward, going, battle on, boys. Just give me a shot. Let me in there. But these two guys here, I mean, how close do you want to be? That is a real touchy place to be close. One little tap there, and it's tragedy for everyone. Paul doing a great job of holding his own in 12th place here. He just needs to hook onto the back of Turbolaunch, sit with him, let him be dragged. But hang on, we've got more action here. We've got Hack. Hack is having a go at Grant. He's gone straight up the inside. That is he's used the car park to get past him, but he made it work. He made it work.
He has made it work, and it's got in the track position going down into turn 1. He's got the inside line, and this means he could brake later on the brakes, and that's exactly what he's done. Can he get the squeeze going on the exit? He's given barely any room, and that is position sealed for Brendan Hack up to P5. But he's now got the uphill run to turn 3, going through the kink of turn 2. Is he going to play defensive, or is he going to go for the traditional racing line and try not to defend thin air up behind? Is that Upiter trying to go for the move? It is, and there's contact. Oh, they've spun each other. That's Grant, who's now going to lose some positions. And, sorry, it was Clint Olive. It was Clint Olive. I called that wrong, sorry. It's Clint Olive who has made a mistake there to go into the back of Remo, and he has now not only lost positions for himself, but for Remo's round, and that has gone absolutely terribly. It was a very late lunge.
Definitely a late lunge there, which ended in tragedy for all. Upiter there, he was the one who benefited from that. He just sort of snuck past them all and went, excuse me, I'll just sneak through and take all those positions. But they're still battling on here. So Turbulence has gone back behind Paul Buttigieg. Paul Buttigieg won't make it that easy to go around this time. I think he made it easy the first time. I can't see it happening again. But Smart here, as I was saying before, he's just hooking onto the back of these guys. He wants to see them battle it out. The more they battle it out, the more it sucks him into the game. We got more action up here. We got Remo's been overtaken by Liam. Liam's run wide though. Oh, he's run real wide. There's another car park move, people. We're seeing it all night tonight.
Yeah, and to make matters worse for Holyoke there as well, if you run wide between the last two corners, there's a little patch there of gravel to try and stop people from extending and getting the track limits warning and gaining a unfair advantage by using that track extension. So every time they run wide through there, they're only going through gravel, and that's why we see them lose so much time, and it is definitely something they need to be taking note of, because the more they do that, the more time they lose, and the more times we're going to get a train like this, and this is going to cause some drama. We've got another late lunge down the inside. Don't tell me it's going to happen again this time. There is no contact. No, but there is contact. I spoke too soon. And Clint Oliver's had more drama down at turn 3. Behind, though, it is all on. It's Barber, the haircut. He's trying to get himself past David Smart. Is he going to be able to get it done around the outside? It's a very, very late braking manoeuvre, and he's going to be able to get it done. But is Smart going to be able to hang it back down at the inside through the right-hander before heading into the final sector of the track? It looks like it's going to be the position for Barber, and it's his as he slides it wide. It's a bit of a slide job that we see on oval racing. He's been able to defend that position beautifully.
Definitely well defended, well played there. But exactly what I was saying, Smart's just jumped into all of this and had fun. Clint before made that move again, same as last time, except he got away with it, did a beautiful job. Smart here, he's gone in the inside of Barber. He's going to make this stick. No, he's not. He's going to pull out of it. But look at the times again, people. 1:33.6 from Fabian. That is race pace. This man is on, but it's hard to go up there when you've got battles like this going on up and down the field. Turbulence has just gotten into the back of Smart here. Is he going to make a move up the inside? This is always risky. Oh, Zahat, he's making an idiot of me. A 1:33.4, that is a lap time.
If I remember correctly, that would have cleaned up a pole position if he was able to get that done in the qualifying session. So he is showing absolutely rapid pace. Unfortunately for himself, though, he did make that pit stop early in the race. We don't know why he had to come into the lane, but he now finds himself multiple laps down as the battle continues. And what a cutback that was from him. He is using these fresh tyres from his pit stop to absolute perfection. There's not too much tyre wear in this series because we just sprint race to the absolute end. But man, this guy is on an absolute mission, and he is pulling the moves as if he was fighting for a world championship. What a move down into turn 4, and he now finds himself up into 13th position. I thought he had lost the heat time going into the pit lane, but now I'm reading the timing. Look at that, he's up into 13th. How did he get there?
This guy is crazy. He might be an alien from another planet. I really shouldn't have made calls and sort of picked on him early because he's really starting to show some form. But back up the front here, look at this for a little angry battle pack. We've got Upiter, he's right up the back of Hack, and Hack is right up the back of Wallace. These guys are going to battle the whole thing out. So it looks like Hack's got a good run on Wallace here. He's nice and close. Is he going to go for that inside line? Fabian with the 1:33.4, getting faster. Hack's gone up the inside. Can he make this stick? He just needs to pick his braking marker and get it done. Wallace is going to run this wide just to cover and just to save a little accident. He's done a good job there, but Hack's up the inside. Here's Upiter. Upiter's gone, well, I'll have the outside. We are 3 wide. 3 wide. Oh, Pete, how's this going to end?
Hopefully, very clean and with excellent racing. That is what we want to see. Hack, he's very late on the brakes. He's got it all locked up. He gets it stopped, and he holds onto that 4th position there. But behind him, though, it's still battling it on. It's still Wallace versus Upiter. Who is going to be able to be the beneficiary of this battle? They were 3 wide into turn 4. They're still going side by side, and it is still Hack holding on, and that is going to be Wallace. Can he hang it around the outside and finish the move? It's Upiter still holding his nose just in there. Can 7-Eleven get the one over the Namco car? They're sliding through the corner. Can they hold on for dear life and get this done cleanly? Yes, they can.
Beautiful racing there. Everyone's showing a lot of respect, a lot of consideration. Here's Zahud again. What's he doing? He's gone straight up the inside. He's claimed 11th position. Can this guy get a top 10 on debut? This is an unbelievable drive. We've had a pit stop. He's come out again, and he's still in 11th position. He's just playing through the field. Is he playing with these guys or what? And then up here we've got Liam. Liam and Remo, they're battling hard. Liam shows pace. He's gone up the inside. That is an opportunistic move if ever I have seen one. You'll need to cover him off here because I'm sure Remo, he'll be looking for an inside line. He'll be looking for a bit of a draft. Pull up a bit of speed. Inside line. Here we go. It's textbook stuff. Liam should have just moved it over there to cover. He hasn't. And this is going to cause... Can he get a switchback? No. He's going to get an excuse me, I am coming through.
Yeah, there was a little bit of contact there on the exit, and I'm very surprised that neither of them ended up getting turned down on the exit of one. The battling is continuing between these two that have been absolutely at it so far all race, so they know what is at stake here so far, and it is a battle for a top 5 position between Wallace and Upita. Upita's going to be absolutely pissed with himself. He had the pole position and he has fallen down and now finds himself battling for a top 5. It is definitely not going to be a race one for him to remember, but it's going to be valuable points in this championship, a championship where he wishes he could have gained a bit more here and there. Unfortunately, caught up in a couple of incidents, some of his own doing, some of not, and he is still not letting this one go. That Namco car seems to be struggling a little bit into this middle sector there through those two right-handers, and then it looks like he can get the power down just a little bit better exiting into this final sector, but it is definitely turns 1 and 3 where Upita's got the strength on him.
Most definitely, I can tell you. Looks like Wallace is just doing a little bit of driving, looking in the rear vision mirror there. Upita's got sort of advantage because he's behind. He can see where Wallace is vulnerable, and this is it. He's moved straight over to the inside. He has made his intentions clear as you like. He's going to throw it straight up the inside, but we've seen the switchback work here a few times. Can Wallace pull it up and get that switchback? No. He's going to run hard and wide, but that's going to give him good speed off this corner. These guys are still going to stay Noah's Ark style, as the great man would say. They're going to run 2 by 2 down this straight into the right-hander. This is going to be touchy. You see, Upita's got it at the moment, but all we need is a switchback. If Wallace can just control it, come back, he'll be able to come out of speed, but Upita's done too good a job there. Look at that, into the corner. Great apex gone. And here is this nutter again. This guy is doing an unbelievable job tonight.
Yeah, it looks like Pete's absolutely understood this car, and he is one with the car and track at the moment. He is still putting in wicked lap times. You can see there in the micros, he's gone purple in at least one of the micro sectors in sector 1 to give him a green overall, and he is only hundreds away from the fastest lap of the race that is set by your race leader Fabian Fitness, who, mind you as well, has now pulled out to nearly a 3-second lead out in front. So he is absolutely driven away from Jake Buttigieg, and if it was to finish like this, only extends his championship lead over Jason McFadden, who also finds himself in 3rd. So really, the top combatants that we've got in this championship find themselves 1, 2 and 3 in today's race, but he is now all over the back of Remo here. Is he going to be able to get himself a move down at the penultimate corner? It's going to have to be late braking and get it down to the apex early, and that is exactly what he's done. Get it out to the outside and stop any sort of cutback. And look how much he's got it on the slide. He is absolutely wringing the neck of this thing.
Absolutely pushing this thing to extreme, and the guys behind, they're just trying to pick up the crumbs as he's gone past. Liam looks like he's got a run here. He's going to go up the inside. He will want to go 9th position. He'll be happy with 10th, but I'm sure he'd like to push it 9th. Just get up a little bit more. The clock tower is counting down right now. We're down to about 8 seconds to go in this race, and it looks like up the front, Fabian still has a massive gap. We haven't really called much on him tonight. He's just sort of got out in front and done what he needed to do, extend the lead. The battles throughout the field, though, have been entertaining as you like. These guys are still going for it. Paul's had a bit of a slide there. He's ended up on the grass. He's going to have dirty tyres. This is going to make him vulnerable to Clint when we get down to this corner here. If he can't clean off those tyres, what a finish here. Positions are definitely not decided.
They're definitely not decided, especially with a couple of prime overtaking opportunities still available. And you can see the tyres probably not quite cleaned off yet because he was wide down at turn 4. And that has meant that he's not going to be able to put any attempt on Hollyoaks to try and get himself a top 10. And it's only going to put him as a vulnerability to Clint Oliver. But I can see on the track map there, that is Fabian Fitness. He's rounding the final corner and he's about to cross the line, and he's going to claim the victory in race 1 and set the fastest lap of the race on the final lap. What a way to assert dominance in race 1. This man will be starting from P10 in race 2. Jake Buttigieg and McFadden round out your race 1 podium, and then it's Hack and Kai Ubiter beats that lap to a 33.2. We are absolutely smashing the lap times here today in race 1. And then it's Wallace and Simmons in 7th position for Pizza Hut. Wow. P8 on, I believe this is a debut for him, wouldn't it be?
Definitely a debut run. This guy's done a great job. I'm not sure whether it's more arse than class, but I tell you what, he's pulled it off. He has done a fantastic job in that 8th position. Remo in 9th, and then we've got Liam in 10th. That's a great position. He'll be happy with that. Paul Buttigieg in 11th. He will be happy with that. Clint Olaf in 12th. Now, he had some good fights through the field, doing a great job. And then Smart and the Poohmobile in 13th. Mate, great job there as well. Head of the cheese board in 14th. We've got the haircut in 15th. Turbolanche in 16th. Colton Atkins, oh, mate, had an absolute shocker. He's had a terrible time in 17th. And then we've got Sam Bensley in 18th. And Lawson, 19th.
It has been one hell of a race. It has been, it had everything that I think we were looking up to there for this first race. This man, though, was undeniable. He drove away to nearly a 3-second race win with, well, I was about to say the fastest lap, completely forgetting immediately that Kai Upert has actually snagged it away from him, just showing the pace and how on form this guy has been. But Fitness is your race 1 winner ahead of Buttigieg and McFadden. Bear with us, go and refill those beverages because we have got race 2 coming up fairly shortly.
Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our simulators make the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments affect their performance. Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our simulators make the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments affect their performance. Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our simulators make the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments affect their performance. Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our simulators make the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments affect their performance. Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our makes the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments.
And welcome back for race 2, ladies and gentlemen. If this is going to be anything like race 1, we are all in for a treat. These guys battling hard, and now as we look through the field, the typically fast guys who have really pushed forward, they're back. So we've got Fabian off 10th position. So what that means is he's going to be trying to push through. You've got McFadden off 9th. He's off 8th. He's going to be trying to push through for the championship. Fast guys will be coming through, Pete. This is when things get spicy.
They are going to get very spicy, and with the overtaking we've seen so far, it doesn't take much for it to end in catastrophe. So watch for these guys. They're going to have to pick their moments very carefully for them to get through the field nice and cleanly. They don't want any contact, because in this series, any contact is a little bit of self-policing here. Any contact between the two cars, they add a little bit of ballast to them for a couple of laps, and that means that they're going to be slower for those couple of laps. It's as if you go rental go-karting and you cut the corner a little bit. They'll turn down the power on your go-kart for you a little bit. We have been given the 30-second warning for this race. Got any predictions, Dino?
Yeah, look, this race, mate, I think the fast guys will come through. I think you'll have to watch the fitness, the Buttigieg, the McFadden. That's a Hut guy, though. Geez, he showed some form in the first race, so he might be a contender. And the lights are up. Pete, you want to take us away again, mate? I know you love the starts.
The starts is where it can all either be won or lost. Most likely, though, it's probably going to be lost for someone. But we're getting ready to put foot to the floor. The lights are illuminated, and we're off for race 2. It's a top 10 reverse race here, and you can see everyone's really struggling on the rear tyres there, getting a heap of wheel spin, and it looks like it's going to be Holyoke who can sweep across the apex, and he's going to take the lead out of turn 1 and still struggling on the rears. Everyone is struggling on the rears, and here comes Pete. He's got the run. He's in the slipstream. He started in the second row, and he's still sitting in that third position, but he has got an opportunity here to try and steal a lead. There's a tiny little bit of contact. They're going 3 wide into turn 3. He's late on the brakes, and he's late off all the brakes. The Namco car, it's chaos. It is absolutely chaos down to turn 3. We've got cars going everywhere. Hayden Wallace, he's gone around, and he is rejoined and taken Clint Olive with him. So Olive has had an absolute mare once again, caught up in another incident. Wallace is further down. McFadden, after starting further down the field with the top 10 reverse, now finds himself already up into P5, and right behind him, Fabian Fitness in P6 and Jake Buttigieg in P7. The top 3 that we've been talking about trying to find their way through the field have already made huge ground.
And definitely, and here's the championship. This is what I was hoping for, these guys to start battling through. We got Jason and Fabian here. Jason's just dropped it onto the sand. That'll slow down his exit, as it's evident now. You can see that in the shot. So Jason will try to tuck up behind Fabian here and see if he can get a run. But then you've got Jake Buttigieg behind, who's got something to prove. He's got something to prove. Look at these guys tracing to the right-hand side of the track here. Jason, that move was on, and now he's backed out of it. He's going to have to try and have a run onto the main straight. It's games aplenty right now. Games aplenty. Jason's got a run here. Oh, he just had a little squirm, which let it go. And what that's going to do is invite Buttigieg straight to the inside. He is going for it. Fabian, he's not pulling any punches. He's gone to block. There's no one there to block. Is Buttigieg going to get this done? He's going to throw it straight up the side of Jason and get this done. Jason's going to hold fat on the outside. This is racing with respect. This is what you want to see.
It's exactly what you want to see. It's hard, but it's clean and it's fair racing. Unfortunately, Bensley, he's just dropped out of the race. He is our first non-finisher, I think, of this race, and race 1 as well. We had no non-finishers, so unfortunately for him, he's going to be scoring no points this time around here at the Red Bull Ring. And you can see that Jake Buttigieg, he's still battling it out. He's got himself now up into that P5 position, but behind him it's Jason McFadden. He's going to be wanting to try and get by Holyoke as well. We saw Holyoke, he was leading after turn 1, and he's now falling down to P7, and with that poor exit, make that P8, because Brendan Hack has now got himself by, and so this has not been the start that he probably wants to race 2 here, further down the field, just outside the top 10 here, well, battling for the top 10 actually. It's Colton Atkins. He's had a mare in race 1, finished further down the field. He's already had a brilliant start from 17th, I believe it was, he started, and he now finds himself up into 11th, so he's really taking advantage of that chaos that we saw on the opening lap down at turn 3 to get himself up the field, and he's now already battling his way through into the top 10 if he's able to make that move done. And Fabian Fitness, from starting 10th, has now found himself already up to a podium position. And who's that going wide? Someone's gone really wide in the background, and that is Brendan Hack. And now, don't tell me they're going to try and 3 wide. I thought they were going to try the 3 wide into turn 1. We've seen 2 wide get a bit tight going into turn 1 here, and 3 wide was definitely probably going to be a little bit too much, and there's a little bit of a bump, and that's going to give the momentum to Kai Upiter, and he's going to use that to try and get alongside Holyoke, and you can see that transfer of momentum has only punished Brendan Hack, because he is now probably too far back now to try and make a dive bomb here, and it's Kai on the inside of Liam. Is he going to be able to get this move done? He can, and look at the exit from Brendan Hack here. He's now got himself that position as well.
Liam's just run a little bit wide there. It's let 2 through. Here we go. There's some action here. We've got Jake and Remo. They are side by side. Looks like Jake's got the better line here. Jason's going to try and follow him through. He got a little bit squirmy there. I thought that was over for McFadden. I thought he was gone. Oh, I'm mixing my words and everything. I got a little confused there. I thought Jace was gone. He's going to go 2 by 2 into the corner where I said it's not a good idea to do. He's going to make me look like an idiot one more time. Thanks, Jason. But he's just touched that sand again. That slows down your exit, but he's powered through. He's got the power down early here. He might be able to hold this line. Remo needs to tuck back in behind him and see if he can get a run at the end of this little straight. These guys are going hammer and tongs. Jason's on the same mission as Fabian. He needs to get as far up as he can to keep those championship hopes alive.
Yeah, and at the moment, those top 3 that we keep talking about currently find themselves in 2nd, 4th, and 5th position. So they've made their way through the field pretty nicely. And there's still 11 minutes of racing left in this race, with Fabian Fitness now punching in a 33.8. So already on a really good pace here in race 2. And down the inside, it looks like Colton Atkins is going to be trying to get this move done on Paul here. Can he get the move done? Uses a bit of the sausage curb on the inside to help to get the car turned and to keep the momentum up down the straight. And that is a position done. But this straight does allow you to become vulnerable to the slipstream. Is Paul going to be able to mount an attack? He looks to the outside. He brakes late. He's pulled alongside, but watch out behind, because Lawson's trying to get into this one as well in front of them. Someone's gone a little bit wide, and that would have been Holyoke, still struggling a little bit in race 2 here, but Paul Buttigieg unable to take advantage of the slipstream. He's got another dose of slipstream here, but it looks like he may be a little bit too far back to mount an attack this time around.
Definitely. He won't want to be... No. Oh, there's been a hit. There's been a hit. He's been ploughed. Oh, that's around. That's around. Paul Buttigieg has gone around. That's such a shame. Lawson has given him a tap from so far back and tried to knock him into next year. That was unbelievable stuff. That was just... He still readdressed the position. Hats off for that. And now he's with Clint beside him. We've seen Clint before. He won't take any garbage. These guys will battle it out. Lawson now just got that move back done, got everything back under control. We've started to settle it down, but it's made Paul, he's now vulnerable to Barber. He's now vulnerable to the haircut, and the haircut is right on him now. He's going to try and make a move up through, and Lawson, he's going to push back through. And there we go, Pizza Hut with the fastest lap, eclipsed by Fabian straight away with the 33.6. The pace up the front is electric.
Electric indeed. They're trading fastest laps, and that gap is hovering around about the 4 seconds at the moment between first and second. Is Lawson able to make up some ground that he just lost after that incident with Paul Buttigieg? The answer, no. He is unable to make that And it is now Kai Upita trying to get himself back further up the front of the field. He has shown electric pace. The electric's going to be the word, because this is pace that we were not expecting to see with these cars around this circuit. These drivers are showing their worth in this series by putting in the performances they currently are. And Upita was unable to make that move into turn 3, but he has got another opportunity into 4 if he's able to get it done. And how's the closing speed from Brendan Hack under the brakes? He has run a little bit deep and a little bit wide, but I think it's still a net gain on the 2 in front.
Definitely. He's pulled the position there. Now he's right up on the back of Remo. He's going to try and make this stick. I mean, we've seen this man has unbelievable pace. He's probably just had a little bit of tragedy in race 1 there, but he's got pace to run with these front guys. And everyone seems to be getting nice and close now. Everyone's just starting to group up a bit, which is what you want. We don't want to see them spread out. We want the racing. We want to see clean, respectful racing. And these guys are definitely demonstrating how it's done. Remo doing a great job. Look at that. He's got Upita all behind him. Upita's touched, though. He's touched the gravel. That's going to slow him right down, and that's going to bring Hack right into it. Here is Hack. He'll go for the inside here. I would be going straight up the inside. He's got the run. Now all he's got to do is make it stick. But it is tricky breaking into this corner. Make no mistake about it, ladies and gentlemen. This is not an easy braking corner. You get this wrong by just a couple of millimetres and it's all over. And here we are back up the front. We've got Jake. Jake is all over the back of Ezra. Ezra will make that car as wide as a bus. Absolutely as wide as a bus. He won't give up his position easy. He's going to slip it out.
Oh.
Jason's trying to go up the inside. Oh, that could have been tragedy.
It was so close to tragedy. You can see how much time he has lost. He's now got the sister Speed Nation car of Remo right behind him. So from trying to go for a move, he has now lost over a second and a half to the car in front of him, and could find himself soon under attack from the car behind. And we can see there how much slower you get if you do touch that gravel on the outside of the penultimate corner. I was mentioning it in race 1. You can't be touching that stuff because you will just slow up so much. And how was the closing speed from Remo? They're nearly punting the rear of Jason McFadden. And before one of our championship contenders, this is not what he wants. This is going to be getting the heart rate up. This is going to be making him feel a little bit nervous, a bit of sweaty palms happening or gripping that steering wheel. All he wants to do is try and get back up to the back of Ezra there and battle for that podium position with Jake Buttigieg as well, one of his other championship rivals. As Kai Upita, man, he is still trying to find his way past Paul here. And we've seen in previous races, my mind goes straight back to Watson's Glen. That was round 2 of this season. And Paul Buttigieg, that was a defensive drive, and he's gone into the gravel again. He keeps jumping into the gravel. Has he maybe overheated the tires? Because that can definitely cause a little bit of understeer in these cars, and that's all it takes. He definitely looks to be off the pace, and I reckon this could be day done for Kai.
Definitely off pace. He could be a little out of sorts here. Oh, he's run real wide there. Something is going on with that car. He might have suffered a little bit of damage there that we didn't quite pick up, because that is very uncharacteristic for the way he drives. He definitely is a good driver. He's better than that. Here we go. The battle's on here. The Poohmobile out in front of Turbolanche. Can he get around it? He's going to have a go. Smart, driving very smart there, but he needs to block. He needs to stay on that inside line. Don't let anyone shoot up. It's too easy for these guys to just pull up the inside and put a move on. Smart needs to move it over now. There we go. Turbolanche thought better of that. Smart move. Just pull in behind him. But he's, oh, geez, they've got the slide on tonight, Pete. I don't think I've seen a track that's had these guys sliding as much as this one.
Yeah, the cars have looked extremely unstable, and in the pre-show to qualifying, I was mentioning just some of the stats about these cars. They're lightweight, high horsepower, and so that makes them a real driver's car, and that is going to make these guys really work to get the maximum performance out of these things. They do have a rear wing, but it's not going to be offering too much in the name of rear downforce, and these fastest laps, they're just tumbling all the time. It's a 33.2 now, and that is Brendan Hack. That has gone wide. He's hit the gravel, gone wide onto the Austrian flag AstroTurf there, and he is now going to lose not one, but he is now open to an attack from Colton Adkins, who looks down the inside, and Brendan Hack thinks better of it, knows that he is not in a fight here. He doesn't have the momentum to try and battle this one around, so just sits in behind and is going to have to settle for P9 for the moment with 4 minutes of racing left.
Definitely. That's a great job from Colton, though. He's come from nowhere and moved it up. He's now in 8th position. As we come back to these two guys, they have not let go of each other. This seems to be a pretty level playing field for these two. Positions, I haven't seen them swap yet. Turbulence is trying to throw everything at him. He just needs to get an exit, perfect exit, and get out of there, get up alongside, and then try and put a move in on one of these straights. He seems to be struggling to just follow him through certain sections. Smart seems to pull away, and Turbulence, oh, he's got the slide on there. Look at the back of that car, beautifully held. That's a lot of control going on there. He's doing a great job at this corner. There's been some sliding through this one. No sliding from those guys then. It's all power down, it's all business.
It certainly is, and with the critical corners for overtaking around here being so dependent on being on the late braking and then getting the good traction on the exit of the corner, all of those corners follow each other, which just means that if you don't have the exit, you can't go for that late braking move, and then it keeps going around, and then you get to that middle section of the track where you need to be alongside to really start thinking of trying to get an overtake, and even then going side by side is extremely difficult through the middle and final sectors of this circuit. So Smart just putting that car in exactly where he needs to put it to be able to hold on to that 10th position, and if things were to finish the way it is, that would be a P5 starting for himself, so towards the front for the final race, the feature race for this series in the Wednesday Cup. And we're taking a look here at Brendan Hack because he lost all of that time to Colton Atkins a couple of laps ago. He's now caught that time back up, so he's just showing that pace that we know we've got. He's a race winner so far this season. He won the second race in Silverstone in the opening round of this season. We haven't seen him in the winner's circle since, but he is definitely looking like he's got pace to try and challenge towards the front, but he's got to overcome the pace of Pete Zahut, the absolute carnage machine that he is. He is now nearly 8 seconds out in the lead and still setting purple sectors. His last lap around was the fastest lap of the race. It was a 33.1. That is well and truly quicker than what we were seeing in qualifying. That's about, I'm trying to think now back to what qualifying was. We're looking on the realms about half a second faster than the qualifying times as race pace from Pete.
Definitely. I'm quite interested to see if he can get into the 32s, and he has done it. A 1:32.8. That is by far the fastest time we've seen here tonight, but here's a battle. Jason has decided to throw it up the inside of Ezra. He's sick of sitting behind him. He's going to put a move on, make it up the inside. Now he just needs to make it stick as they come into the braking area. This is hairy. Ezra has gone real wide. He's come back in. He's tried to cut the nose off. We've got two guys on the side. There's a touch. There's a touch, but somehow they've come out of it. They are still side by side. Has Jason got the power here to keep that lead? He's going to have to dart back over to the inside because Ezra's he's going to go for the inside. I'm trying to hold my breath here. I'm trying to see what's going to happen. Ezra's had to pull it up nice and hard. That's going to give Jason a bit of speed out. He just got a little bit of a bounce, but they're going to battle on this one all the way through. They're going to go through down into turn 3 here. This is going to be interesting. So Ezra's got the inside line. Jace on the outside. He's going to hold it there. He's going to go for the switchback. You can get some great speed by staying wide on that corner and just getting the power down nice and early, which he's done. Are we going to go 2x2 through this corner? Seems to be Jason's signature move for the night.
Yeah, it absolutely is, but Ezra did a fantastic job. He parked the bus on the apex down at turn 4, and that cutback that you were thinking Jason could go for eliminated that opportunity. Down the inside. No, there's contact. They've both gone around. Remo Grant, he's going to go through. He's going to take that 4th position away from the both of them, and this is disaster for one of our championship rivals. He was in 2nd heading into this round of the championship. He was only 19 points behind Fabian Fitness. He lost some ground with Fabian winning race 1 and Jason finishing in the 3rd position and now down in 12th position. This is going to have to start becoming quite the mission for him to claw back all of this ground. Lucky for him though, he has got the pace to battle at the front, and he has got one more race here tonight for him to try and do some good. A small mercy, you could say, with this incident is that now being down in 12th, he's going to be starting from about the third row of the grid for the final race here tonight. So he's going to have a fair advantage against Fabian Fitness, but we've seen that Fitness is not afraid to carve his way through the field.
Definitely not. He will try as hard as he can with Jason there. I think the red mist just descended. He's put a move on out of nowhere. I've just seen a comment in the chat and it says very late move from McFadden. I mean, if it was any later, it would have been from 3 years ago. That was an extremely late move. Extremely late move that didn't pay off. But here we go. Jason's still playing on. He's going to try and pick up as many positions as he can on this last lap. He's gone up the inside of Barber. He's made that one stick. He's going to have a go at Senior Buddy Gig here. Can he get that one done? Come on, Paul. Do it for us old boys, mate. Block, block. I'll pretend to look away if you take Jason out, mate. No harm, no foul.
That is exactly right. But all eyes are going to be turning to the man who can conquer dominoes. It's Pizza Hut, and he makes the race of victory here in race 2. And then it is going to be Fabian Fitness. He's going to cross the line into second position, and an entire 8 seconds away. I reckon this must be one of the first times we have seen him genuinely beaten by pace in one of these races. He had everything going for him, and he just didn't have it to stay up into that P1 position. Jake Buttigieg will finish in 3rd position. Remo Grand will take home that 4th position. A 4th position gained by the collision that we saw between McFadden and Ezra Simmons. And then it's Colton Atkins. That's a bit of a recovery drive that we like to see. He's up into P5. Brendan Hack will be in position 6. And then it's Holyoke in 7th. Simmons, after that issue with McFadden, ends up in the 8th position. Smart 9th, and McFadden will round out the top 10 if you want to tell us the rest of the field.
Let's go for it. And then we've got Paul Buttigieg in 11th. He'll be happy with that. What a great drive from him tonight. We got Barber in 12th. That was another great drive. These guys battling it. We got Clinton 13th. Opener in 14th. Geez, I think he had more pace than that. Not sure what happened. Head of the cheese board in 15th. We've got Lawson in 16th. Wallace in 17th. And then we've got Turbolanche in 18th. Not sure what happened there. Not sure what happened there. And then Sam Bensley, he went to DNF early. So it'll be interesting to get the scoop on what happened there. But I mean, what a race. Pizza Hut has absolutely brained them in race 2.
He absolutely has. That was, as we mentioned, that was pace. That was eclipsing what was done in qualifying. These guys, when they have it dialed in, have got it dialed in. We're going to be taking a short break as we get ready for race 3. It's going to be the final race of the night, the long feature race. We've got a top 15 reverse grid coming your way, so get ready, refuel those refreshments, because we're in for a treat.
Forms and expertise in getting the best gear. Simsational TV has proudly partnered up with Speed Nation. It is New Zealand's go-to destination for high-performance sim gear. They also stock the best and biggest brands in the game, from Thrustmaster, Moser Racing, Next Level Racing, Sparko, Turtle Beach, and more. And whether you're looking for the ultra-responsive racing wheels or pro-grade flight controls, immersive audio, or rock-solid cockpits, I'll tell you what, Speed Nation has got it all. They also carry other trusted names like Butt Kicker, PT Actuators, Wheel Stand Pros, Gen Ace, Spectrum in the remote control field, and also Collective Mind. So every step and part of your setup is covered, from complete racing rigs and premium flight packs. We here at Simsational TV, back in Speed Nation, to deliver the gear that takes your experience to the next level. Fast shipping, trusted brands, unbeatable quality, and I'll tell you what, Speed Nation has it all. And as an excellent gift for all of our viewers tonight and members out there of Simsational TV, and if you're trying to get into racing, go to the checkout, buy some stuff off Speed Nation, because if you buy any full-price product on the website, enter the code SIMSATIONAL, that is SIMSATIONAL. Oh, my God, I can't even speak. And you will get a 10% discount off your end cart price. So go in there.
10%? 10% did you say, Zachary?
I did say 10%, mate. I did not say 5. I did not say 4. I said 10. Wow. Forms and expertise in getting the best gear. Simsational TV has proudly partnered up with Speed Nation. It is New Zealand's go-to destination for high-performance sim gear. They also stock the best and biggest brands in the game, from Thrustmaster, Moser Racing, Next Level Racing, Sparko, Turtle Beach, and more. And whether you're looking for the ultra-responsive racing wheels or pro-grade flight controls, immersive audio, or rock-solid cockpits, I'll tell you what, Speed Nation has got it all. They also carry other trusted names like Butt Kicker, PT Actuators, Wheel Stand Pros, Gen Ace, Spectrum in the remote control field, and also Collective Mind. So every step And part of also is and premium flight packs. We here at Simsational TV back in Speed.
Holy moly, what have we witnessed so far tonight? It has been well and truly a night to remember for the Wednesday Cup here at the Red Bull Ring. It's the penultimate round of our championship, and we have had massive implications in that last race. I am talking about the incident that Jason McFadden had, and he has dropped down the field. As I said, though, the small mercy, he now starts towards the front of this now, thanks to the top 15 reverse grid in this final race. As the drivers now start loading themselves into the grid here, they're doing their final checks, their final preparations for the final night here. They want to try and maximize these results, especially the guys who have got this opportunity to start from the front. And for the 7-Eleven car there, you can see towards the front, it's not a sight he is unused to. He started from the front in the first race, and unfortunately has had a bit of everything happening, hasn't he, Dino?
He's definitely had it all happening, mate. He's had it all up against him. There's been a few moves, a few whacks. But here we go. We've got head of the cheese board. He is on pole. Go, mate. And then we've just got another super chat from Fabian. That's the second one tonight. And then Zach O'Reilly, whoever that is, he chipped in $5. Anyway, let's go to second on the grid. We've got Upiter on second. And then we move on to fourth. We've got Clinton fourth. He's done a great job tonight. Battled hard. Barber, he's there in fifth. We've got Buttigieg in sixth. I think I've got the positions wrong. We've got McFadden in sixth. Now he's going to want to push. We've got Smart in seventh. We've got Ezra. There he is, my old mate, in eighth. He'll be going for it. We've got Liam in ninth, and we're ready for a start. The lights are up. The lights are up, Pete. Once again, mate, I know you love a start. Let's go.
For the final time tonight, we get ready for TVR Tuscans around the Red Bull Ring. It is the final race of tonight for the Wednesday Cup, and we're away for this one. And it is a great start from Marzella, and he's going to hold the lead heading down into turn one behind. They're still trying to find their own bit of real estate. I thought the nose was going to get shown there from the 7-Eleven car. And is that going to be Kai Upiter up into a second position? No, he has to tuck into a third. And look at this, it is bump drafting. This is speedway racing going down into turn 3 of this circuit. Is anyone going to try and go for a late braking maneuver with the cold tires, the cold brakes? Look at Hack down the inside. He was all the way up against the white line, and he still tried to go for it. Is he going to be able to make any positions? Was that a car that went around? I thought I saw a car go around, and I reckon there is one still trying to recover in the background. There's a couple of stragglers towards the back on the track map, and it looks like Smart was caught up in a incident there, and Hack has also plummeted down the order. So that move from Brendan Hack probably not working out exactly the way he was expecting to. And Fabian Fitness on the timing screens, he's dropped down to 18th. What has gone on here?
Fabian has dropped to nowhere. There's been an incident off the start here. I can see he's at least nearly a quarter of the track, maybe half the track behind. But Jason's going to make hay while the sun's shining here. He's just put it into third position. He will be going for a win here. This is his chance to recoup some points and get back in that championship battle. But I tell you what, Clint showed the nose there. I thought he's not going to let this go. He's got it all to play for now. He's right on the back of the cheese board. He's had a bit of a slide there. Can he get this done? He's come up alongside. He'll now have to tuck in behind, get the suck, and then go for that turn one. But Clint seems to have a good run there as well. This is going to be on. You've got three guys who think they can get around this corner first. Jason, ultra wide on the outside. He's using the car park. I love that saying, but I tell you what, he might as well be using the damn car park. And at the back of this, Ezra's just come through. Now Ezra's joined the party. So you got some dangerous guys in there who are not afraid to throw a car where it shouldn't be.
That is exactly right, and they're tossing and tussling for this position. There's a little bit of contact down in the brakes and more contact on the exit of the corner between Olaf and Marzella, but they'll get through cleanly with no incident. And Olaf now has an opportunity to try and look towards the back of Ezra here. Is he going to be able to try and send any sort of dive into four? He looks to the inside, he's late on the brakes, but he pulls out of it. Very smart driving there from Clint Olaf to try and avoid any further collisions from what we've seen so far tonight. And it is Kai Upiter leading the way by 2.5 seconds ahead of McFadden. So McFadden has now got himself up into that second position, using using a start towards the front in the reverse grid to absolute perfection to get himself mighty far up ahead compared to his title rivals. And this is Jake Buttigieg, one of those title rivals. He is up into 8th position, and now Holyoke, he's lost a few positions, so maybe he's gone a little bit wide there through the second of the two right-handers back-to-back there. No, sorry, left-handers, and he is now lost 2 positions within the span of a corner and a half, finds himself outside of the top 10, and it's our last time out race winner. Pete, who now finds himself up into 9th position and is looking to try and close that gap. Kai Upita setting the pace, a 34.6. That's still a little bit further off from the race pace that we saw last time around in race 2, but that was just absolutely unearthly race pace we saw in that one. And with these tyres still trying to get up into a good operating window, maybe expect those lap times to start tumbling a little bit sooner. But Olivier under attack from Ezra. Is he going to go for the move down the inside? He does. Is he going to hold on to that move though? Because Clint is very good with the mid-corner speed, and it looks like he's going to get the exit.
He's definitely made that move stick. That was great. Ezra went for the inside move there, and all he had to do was hold his line, hit the apex, carry the speed through. He did a great job of that. Even pulled a bit of a gap on Ezra. That is exactly what you want. But now we've got 2 guys here. They're going hammer and tongs. So Colton, he's got around Jake Buttigieg, but Jake Buttigieg is a hard customer. Oh, there's tapping up the front there. Colton and the cheese board, they are into it. They are into it. They are bumping. They're playing. What's Colton going to do? He's going to have to settle back in. But there he goes. Jake's going to throw it up the inside. There hasn't been a touch yet. And here comes Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut. He's decided to join the party. He's looking for a way through. He's loving the battles here. If these boys battle it out, he'll be able to slide right by, and I assume that's what he's going to do. The cheese board might be a little bit of a cork in the bottle here, and you have 3 fast customers right behind you. Right behind you, mate. Don't look back. Look forward. Oh, here we go. Pizza Hut with a beautiful move. He's got 2 already. He's going to go for it. He's right on the back of Colton here. Can he get this move done? Oh, on the cheese board, he's gone.
Yeah, it looks like he got onto the gravel there, and it ruined all of his momentum. And I'm guessing with the sudden slowing down, he just probably got a little bit of a punt from the rear. Nothing too malicious. It's just unfortunately the case of the way the circuit goes and running wide there. It was a failed move though from Pete there to try and get himself up inside the top 5 after starting from all the way down in 15th position. He has done a wicked job to get himself already up to the battle of the top 5, and he's going, oh, that's a very late lunge, and there's contact with Colton. Is he going to be able to back out of it? He does back out of it and doesn't gain a lasting advantage from that one, which would not have gone down well in the comms chat. And between those two, I'm sure there's possibly a few words are being said about going for a move that late. But it is all fair play just for now, and I'm sure it's going to be a matter of time that Pete goes for it again.
Definitely, Pete won't give up that position. But I tell you what, Colton is not the easiest man to overtake. He's not just going to let you through there. He's not going to wave any white flag, move aside and go after you, sir. That is not how he plays the game. But Pizza Hut now, he's right on it. He is right on it. He's going to play for it here. These guys are playing for keeps. They both seem to have just touched the gravel a little bit there, which would have slowed them both down. Jake's watching all the carryings on, thinking, yep, slow them down, let me in. So now we've got Pizza Hut on the outside. Pete's doing great here. I'm not sure who I'm advertising which pizza company for. We should mention Domino's a couple of times. But Pete's he's got back on the inside. He's right up the back of Colton now. He's got the run, but Colton's moved it over. This is a great vantage point. As we come up to turn 1 here, Pete, things are about to get awkward.
They are. It is looking everywhere, but it is going to be Adkins who holds on just for now. He's used quite a bit of the exit, though, and a bit of the sausage curve, which does nothing for your exit, and that is proven now because Pete is able to get up alongside, and he's got a little bit of a toe as well, because is that Clint Olaf just ahead as well, who moved to the middle of the track, and I don't think there was any team games there, but that would have given Pete just a little bit of a advantage going down the straight. Lots of banging on the exit going through there. We have seen absolute drama going through turn 3, and it continues, and Jake Buttigieg out of absolutely nowhere now throws it up into P5, and he's under attack from Colton Adkins, who hangs it around the outside, and now they have to be careful because this battling could leave them vulnerable to Pizza Hut behind, and could he be trying to get a 2-for-1 deal? There's more contact, and he will lose a position now to our last time out race winner, and is he going to not look to the inside? he shouldn't dare go for a move there. Last time we saw a move try and get done there, it did not end well. I've just seen on the timing as well. Unfortunately for Marzella, we saw him get spun out at the final corner. He is now retired from the race, so no points on the board for Thomas Marzella in race 3 today. But the battle is continuing. It's Adkins versus Olive versus Zahat versus Buttigieg. Who is going to come out on top in this battle? We've got 9 minutes of racing left, and it's a poor exit from Adkins. Is Zahat going to be able to get down the inside? It's going to have to be late on the brakes. He gets to the apex, and there's contact mid-corner, and it's sent him wide, and Adkins will go back on through.
Oh, I'm not sure whether that should have been readdressed. That was a bit of a knock there, which would have given him an advantage. But Pizza Hut, he's not given up here. He's right on the tail of Buttigieg. He's going to make a move here. He's going to have another crack at Colton. Oh, he's going for the 2-for-1 deal. If you can't get one, get them both.
Oh, no!
Oh, no! And Colton has gone. Colton has gone, probably a little bit excited on the throttle there, which just put him into the back of Pete. And Pete just got to drive away. Colton has now been relegated back down to 14th position. And there's battles all up and down the field. Here is Hollyoak and Hack. Who is going to get this one? Hack's got the inside line. Hollyoak on the outside. They're both on the slide, but Hack's going to pull away with this one.
Yeah, he absolutely is. That was absolute upheads driving from Brendan Hack as well. Got to applaud him for that. He was tucked so close up behind Hollyoak there that as they were coming through turn 3, he would not have seen the backwards Colton Atkins on the exit of the corner. And if we had a replay available, I would say it was going to be a game of millimeters between those two guys. So very good driving from Brendan Hack there to avoid a nasty collision there with the stationary vehicle on the racing line. And Kai Uperdijk is continuing to set the pace, but Jason McFadden straight off the bat, a 33.6. He is on a charge. The gap is now only 3 seconds between the top two. They are very close together on their race pace. So we have got 7 minutes of racing left. The top two are closing together. The gap now 2.7 seconds. So McFadden on a charge to try and keep his championship hopes alive. But the battle between Buttigieg, that's Paul Buttigieg, and Lawson is going to continue. He's got a good run heading down the straight. Is the move on for turn 3. He looks to the inside. Paul Buttigieg, he doesn't defend. He leaves it wide open, but he goes very late on the brakes. Too late on the brakes. That's going to allow Lawson to come through. And here is Brendan Hack as well. He's now got the run.
Definitely. Hack's the beneficiary here. He's now able to get on the back of Buttigieg, and he'll be looking for a toe to try and slingshot past him as well. Lawson there pulled off move of the century. Buttigieg just going. Now he's gone to the inside, late break. Oh, they've swapped positions here. Outside late break, inside late break. They're deciding who's going to do what. Who's wearing the shoes in this one? I've got no idea, but Hack, the beneficiary, he's just sitting back there. It looks like he can get up alongside. He might even be able to get, no, he's thought better of that and pulled out of it. But you've got Liam. But I mean, if the points stay, if they stay in the same position that they're all in right now, I have to let you know, ladies and gentlemen, I've just had confirmation that we have an even championship between McFadden and Fitness.
That is going to be exciting heading into the final round of the season. We've got 5 minutes of racing left, so plenty of time for something to happen. And next round, we'll be going to Snetterton, and it's going to be the long courses round. That place is definitely going to throw a curveball or two in the championship, and we are on for one of a championship if they're going to finish as they are. You've got Fitness down in 17th, McFadden up into second. The gap has extended between the top two, so McFadden might have to just sit back and enjoy a second position, which is going to be a very good recovery drive based off of what did occur in race 2. But this battle between Hollyoak, Hack, and that's who is that? Is that the Barber? It is the Barber, and he slices his way down into 11th position, uses a bit of the scissor action there to get himself between the two, and that is him now up into that 11th position and causing a few snips of the positions, and looks to the outside of Hack now as well.
I tell you what, all I can hear right now, in my right ear, I've got the Teams channel on, and all I can hear is McFadden's team going push, push, push. They want that first place. I think with 4.5 minutes to go, though, it's a tall ask. I think they need to let the man just relax and drive the race, go into it even, and leave it all on the table for the final. But it's all happening here. We've just seen Barber go a little wide, get a little out of shape, and that's just let Hollyoak straight through. Liam is having the drive of his life tonight. He's in 11th position. He will be happy with that. Kai setting cracker times. He's done a 1:33.5. So he is a man on a mission at the moment. All up and down the field, these guys are just starting to close up that little bit now. I see Pete. Pete is on the back of Olive. So this will be on for a move. He'll be trying to pick up as many positions as he can after that little tussle with Colton. He won't want a bar of any more tussles. He'll just want to get through, make the move. So he's gone to the inside now. That's a strong commanding move. He's just gone straight to the inside and gone, not coming over on me this time, mate. I'm going to have this corner. So now it's a game of breaking. Who's going to break? Oh, there's a touch. There's a touch. Then I think Clint's round. I think I just saw Clint's car go round. He's looped it. Oh, he got himself up into that 4th position and then just threw it all away. Absolutely threw it all away. That's a shame to see that sort of thing happen.
It's definitely a shame. Loss of 2 positions there in the one corner for himself, but he's recovered fairly well to only lose the 2, considering he was backwards momentarily. But I do think Joseph McFadden has now kind of put the anchors on a little bit and just trying to get this thing home in the last three minutes of this race. The gap has extended since we last spoke to him by about 1.5 seconds. We were talking about it and dropping under the 3 seconds, and now it's about to eclipse to 5 seconds, the gap between the top 2. The last time around, they were 0.2 of a second. Well, Jason was 0.2 of a second slower than Kai when he set that quick lap time before it to only be eclipsed by Fabian Fitness, and that was a 33.4, I reckon I saw from Fabian. So he's got good pace, but still finds himself down in 16th position, and that with Colton Adkins has now actually retired from this race, promoted Fabian Fitness up 1 position, and that is going to be some crucial championship points for Fabian if he wants to try and keep this championship.
Oh, that will definitely change the standings. I'll get confirmation on that as we go on here. But up the front here, we've got Zahat. He's around Jake Buttigieg, so he's still pushing on. He's got 2 minutes. How many positions can he make? But Jake isn't going to let this go. He's gone to the outside. We're playing the late break game again. And what have we got? Zahat, he's got it on the inside, but Buttigieg looks like he's got a better run on the out. He's got a way better run on that outside here. These 2 guys are going to go side by side down into a very tricky section of the track. They don't want to be side by side for too long. Jake would want to come over now and shut that door. Not quick enough, and Zahat is through. He's pulled that move off and got through. Jake just needs to sit with him now. Just sit behind him, get a toe on the main straight, and try and pull past him again up the inside. Jeez, there's been some paint traded tonight. I wouldn't like to be a pedal beater for any of these teams.
Yeah, and think about the guys who have to wrap all of these cars. They're going to be going through so much vinyl. The vinyl industry is going to be having a cash inflow like they have never seen before, with all of these teams wanting to get fresh wraps for these cars. They always look brand new, spick and span for our streams on Simsational TV, but we're more focused on the racing, aren't we? And it is Jake Buttigieg still holding on to the back of our race 2 winner here and showing absolute brilliant pace. It was a purple first sector. He's gone grey in the second and the third sector with a green micro in that final sector, and his last lap of 34.2. So he's about 0.6 of a second away from his fastest lap of the race, and this will also be the final lap of the race with only 43 seconds remaining, unless Kai Upita, with the pace that he's got at the moment, if he puts in an absolute barnstorm of a lap, there could be half a chance that he could get through, but he'll have to put in an absolute worldly performance to get that lap done. So I'm fairly certain this will be the last lap of the race, but it's Buttigieg. Look at the moves being put on display here, showing his worth, showing his championship capabilities here for the Wednesday Cup, going side by side with our race 2 winner. Can he go down the inside? He's going to have to be really late on the brakes, and he absolutely is, but is the cutback viable from Pete? It is, and he's going to get that position away from Jake Buttigieg, and with only 4 seconds remaining on the clock, this is guaranteed to be the last lap of the race. The timer has clicked down to 0, so if Jake wants to get this P4 away, he has to put in an absolute move, but I reckon with that run he's had out of the corner, half a second's a bit too much for him. But Kai Upita, he put it on pole position. He's had a bit of a mare of race 1 and a race 2, but he's recovered well. He's made amends for it, and he'll win race 3 for the Wednesday Cup here at the Red Bull Wing in style by 4.8 seconds, and setting the fastest lap of the race on the final lap, a 33.1. What a lap Jason McFadden will cross the line in second position. We've had a change of position further down the leaderboard between Lawson and Grant. Ezra will cross the line in third. Zahat will finish fourth. Buttigieg in fifth position. And it's a drag race to the line. What is it going to be? And it's going to be Grant. He gets there ahead of Lawson. And he will steal seventh by only 16 thousandths of a second.
Absolutely amazing racing by these guys. Beautiful racing that went right down to the wire. We've got Upita there with a great win. Congratulations. That's an awesome performance that he's had tonight. He fully deserved that win. We had Jason in second. He'll hate me saying this, but I was down in the paddock with his trainer earlier, and I heard they've been doing a lot of work on his knee. He's got a bung knee. They've loaded him up with codeine, sent him out, and the man has fired it straight into second position in this race. That's getting back up the championship. We've got Ezra in third. He will be absolutely ecstatic with that one. What a great drive from Ezra. The man, he's so hard to pass, this guy. And then Zahat. Zahat, what could have been? What could have been if he didn't get caught up in battling cars back down in the field? But a great drive. I mean, a race 2 winner. You have to be happy with that. Jake Buttigieg in fifth. Fought Zahat all the way. Great driving, great respect. Olive in sixth. We got Remo. We saw him steal that seventh position. What a drive across the line. Beautiful work. Took it from Lawson like a baby taking candy from a baby. Did a great job. Paul Buttigieg Sr. in ninth. He will be wrapped with that position. Liam in 10th. That's a great one. Pete, you want to take us through the rest, mate?
Yeah, we've got the haircut in 11th. We saw him chopping around with the positions, and there's Brendan Hack in 12th. Nearly, it was day done, but avoided a stationary car brilliantly in that final race. And then Smart will round out into 13th position. Turbulent in 14th position. And Fabian Fitness, we don't know what happened at the start of that race, but ended up down in 15th position. It's going to be a couple of points for his championship, but it is definitely not going to be helping as we head into the final round of the season next week, with Wallace in 16th position of the Namco car. He was really up in it in the first race, and we kind of didn't really see too much of him in the second and third race.
Definitely, mate, definitely. He sort of dropped on the wayside on that last race, but I mean, he had it all to play for. And then Colton DNF'd, and then we lost the cheese board early. I mean, these guys, we had a few that dropped off here, but the race had everything. I mean, tonight was just brilliant racing. There was some nice, tight maneuvers going on. There was respect given. The moves were beautiful. Up the inside, up the outside, didn't matter. These guys were going any which way.
Yeah, this track just always puts on a show, and I think the combination between these track and cars has been absolutely brilliant. And for Dino, yourself, who was your standout performer?
Mate, standout performer now tonight, it has to be Zahat. What a drive. Come out of absolutely nowhere. The guy, I mean, it was alien-esque, right? It really was. The guy was from another planet. But the fights, I mean, Fitness, still have to take my hat off to Fitness. The guy finished in 15th after having absolute tragedy off the start. I actually heard there was some issues there for him. So he struggled, but he still stayed on the track and kept racing. Got to take my hat off. Jason, with that knee issue, Upita, I mean, you could name half the field here. These guys all pushed hard and did well. It's been a fantastic evening. Thanks, Pete.
Yeah, and thank you for joining me in the commentary box. If you did enjoy this stream, it's been a Simsational TV production. Please like, subscribe, and get notified. It is going to help us so dearly with our future endeavors, and we will see you in the next one. Wednesday Cup is going to be coming back to Snetterton, the long course, and next week for the season finale, we have got a championship on our hands. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Simsational TV YouTube channel. Don't fucking miss it.